Good morning. We are going for a little stroll here. Meg's got to sniff everything. Gotta sniff everything, eh, Megs? Come on. Let's go see the beach. Let's go see the beach. It is 8 a.m. Morning number 12, I believe. So beautiful. Oh, we're not the only one up. There's somebody else up, way down there. Wonder if it's the gentleman that we met last night. Oh, it's so pretty and so calm.
You and me, girl, just wild and free on the road again. Just Maggie and me. You and me, girl, just...
Got a little smoke coverage today, as I'm sure you can see. And we're a little concerned about the fact that we have no power for our fridge. Hoping that the solar would come out, but it's not going to happen with the smoke coverage. But I gotta say, despite all the little issues that I'm having, problems with the ABS brakes, oh, excuse me, and worrying about power, where to sleep, everything seems so small when you're looking across an ocean, right? Like it's not really a big deal. I think the ocean is my happy place. Unfortunately, I can't sit still long enough in one spot when I'm traveling. But we're gonna try today. I literally just opened my eyes about 15 minutes ago to come over to the beach. And already my inners are thinking, let's go somewhere else. Let's go see something else. We've already seen this beach. Let's go, let's go. And I've got to just learn to calm down and sit and be peaceful. Hello, ladies. What you doing? Hey, what you doing, ladies?
Hello, future Angie here. So here's one of the problems with taking videos on your trip and then coming home and trying to edit them into a YouTube video. Sometimes they don't transition well. Like this morning in the video, I was walking on the beach and talking about how I'd love to stay there, but my power is literally at 0. And we talked about fighting the struggle of just running. And that's it. My next clips are actually in the Hope Wildlife Center. There's no transition. So I don't know if everybody's watched the last show or not, but we are parked in the parking lot at the Hopewell Wildlife Reserve. People call and say that they've, found an injured animal or whatever, and they can send them to this place or they'll go pick them up, from what I understand. So obviously this is future me, colored hair and fresh out of the shower. I do apologize for this little transition, but I wanted to let you know that we did stay at the beach that day, even though I was at 0. We took all the supplies of groceries that were going to perish. So like things like mustard or ketchup. Actually, I never have mustard in my fridge. I don't even know why I would say that, because I hate mustard. It's repulsive. Up until I met Chris, it was never in my fridge. I never owned a bottle in my life. Anyways, so things like ketchup, pickles. What else did I have in the fridge that could perish? There wasn't a whole lot anyways. It just stayed in the fridge. And I was like, if it gets warm, it gets warm. The other stuff, like all my popsicles and yogurt and cheese, and I think I had some meat in there, some chicken. I'm trying to remember back because it's been a little bit now. That stuff I moved into my little fridge freezer that has the opening top, and we ran that off of my other little Jackery, and it didn't last long, but it got us time to go through that wildlife place, which is actually free. I was really shocked by that because we weren't going to go because money was really, really tight. Like, I mean, really tight. For some reason, I thought we could go frugally through the Maritimes and back. But mind you, we weren't planning on going all the way to Gaspé. We were planning on cutting the corner, right? And missing a good chunk of New Brunswick and Quebec. But we ended up doing the full distance. And I thought $1,500 Canadian was going to cut it. And it did not. We are down to a couple $100s. And we haven't spent money on much. We bought the crab dip and lobster dip that night because Maya really wanted seafood, and I felt bad that I took her to the Maritimes and she couldn't have seafood. So we did that. I think that one cost us like $50. We paid a $20 for, what was it that we went to? The butterfly place. It was $10 each. And I think that's about, oh, and we bought that poutine at the beginning. That was expensive in Gaspé. That poutine, I think, was like a $30 poutine, that lobster poutine. I think other than that, all we've done is like basic groceries. Like, we've been living on pepperettes, like meat sticks, cereal, boxes of cereal we're snacking on. Like, we went really, really frugal. We've had a few salads. We really... We're losing weight on this trip, let's just say that. So we're really tight for cash. So when they told us, one of the volunteers showed up and she was like, it's free, you got to come check this out. And I was like, really, it's free? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we got to go check that out. We did leave a donation of $10, and even that, I was like, oh my gosh, that could have bought us a meal.
Come on in closer. Anybody want to guess what kind of critter it is? Look at the rounded face. So we know it's not like a fox because it's got a very rounded face.
Skunk?
Good guess.
Squirrel?
No, but that's a good guess because they have the rounded face. It doesn't look human. Like, you got your spinal cord, you got your rib cage. These look like arms and these look like hands. I don't care. Yeah, we're not that different, are we? So this is a beautiful bobcat, and you can see, because the rounded snout. You can even see the endotracheal tube going down into the lungs. That's how the anesthetic gets into them to breathe, so they'll be asleep through the whole thing. And can you see the break? I bet. Where you think it is, it is. You think you see
Broken
anything
arm.
that looks broken there?
Broken arm?
Yeah, right there. Very good, very good. So when you blow it, and it's interesting, like, x-rays are designed to pick up broken bones, but they tell us a lot more than just broken bones. Look at how white it is around. That's inflammation. Look here. No, not near the amount of white. So say we get a seal pup in and we're suspect pneumonia, we'd pop that seal pup on the table and look at the lungs, and if they're all white, then we know this animal's probably got pneumonia, and we'd listen and hear the raspiness. So x-rays are good for a lot of things, mainly for broken bones though. So you got this break here, and you blow it up, and that's what it looks like. And then in the human world, you'd slap a plate on there, and the plate would stay in for the rest of your life. Can't do that in the wild world because they'd get frostbite and perish from the cold. So we use things that we can take out once the healing happens. So we would put this stainless steel medical grade rod in, and that's joining the two pieces together. Then we put external fixators and a rod across there to keep it from twisting. So a little awkward, a little bit more work, but has the same effect as the plate. Holds it still long enough for 6 weeks for it to heal. And then once the healing does, we take all that hardware out. Every once in a while we get, because you have to leave a little piece of the pin sticking out. Every once in a while we get an owl or a raven that just finds that little bit sticking out just too tempting, and they'll actually pull the pin out.
Oh.
Yeah, so we get up in the morning and there's the pin laying on the cage floor. Back to surgery. Good thing it doesn't happen very often though. So once all that's done, 6 weeks of healing, then take out all the hardware, get them up to a big unit where they can run do their physiotherapy all by themselves, and then back to the wild. So usually with broken bones, whether it's a bald eagle or a bird of prey or a bobcat or a deer, the healing is about 3 months from beginning to end, and then we can look at probably getting that animal back to the wild world. And this little guy was released. This is an older x-ray, but I like it because it shows all the processes and the healing.
So what's the rarest animal that you've ever had?
Well, rare is kind of a weird term. I mean, we've had, the only thing I've ever, I shouldn't say the only thing I've ever had just one of is Henderson, the fisher. They're very rare in Nova Scotia. They were extirpated and reintroduced, and they are still endangered. There's very few of them. But we're
we don't like them in Ontario.
There's no critter that I could find that I don't like. Now, if you had asked me what my favorite critter, although I try not to pick favorites, I love the pine martens. Yes. Truly amazing. And they're endangered in our province, too.
Really?
Yeah. There's believed to be less than 100 left in the Upper Cape Breton Highlands.
Wow.
I know.
Why is that? Just
Well,
because
back in the 50s
birds
and
and
back in the 50s and 60s, they were pretty well trapped out. And their pelts way back then, they're just this little animal. Their pelts way back then would bring in about $60, and that must not sound like very much in today's world, but back then that was a lot of money. So they were heavily harvested for their fur.
Are you people who can stay up all night?
Yeah.
If you're people who stay up all night and sleep all day, then you will get along really well with a sugar glider. If you are not, don't get a sugar glider. I call them the teenagers of pets, and it's because they sleep all day and they party all night and you're just expected to clean up after them. Now, I tried this earlier and they chipped at me. I'm gonna try it again.
They're in there somewhere.
Oh, they are. I can smell them. And they're moving. Here. Nope. Here they are. Okay, so he'll try to hide his, there's Ozzy and Ripper in there.
I see the little things.
You can see their eyeballs. So their eyeballs are about 60% of their eyes, or their heads, because they're nocturnal.
Yeah.
Here you go. Oh, he's looking, he's like, why?
The other issue with albino animals that they often face is they're often very compromised with their immune systems. So for a skunk specifically, the statistics of an albino skunk occurring out in the wild are about 1 in 10,000. So very rare to occur to begin with, but then also very rare for them to survive very long just because they have that compromised immune system. And especially for a skunk, they are a species that would... My goodness. What a handsome boy. He knows this sound.
Oh my goodness.
So porcupines have a very unique personality in that, well, mostly they are timid creatures. They also have a bit of an attitude because, okay, all right. I'm gonna have to leave, aren't I? They do have a lot of attitude, so that when they're wandering through your backyard, they might not be all that concerned that you're there, because what are you gonna do about it? They actually used to have an education porcupine that you could pet. Spice. They don't have quills on the bottom or their face, so you pick them up like a pizza box and you can pet them. You had to go with the grain, don't go against the grain.
As soon as I said that, he pulled them up.
Want to do. But you can pet them as long as you're going in the right direction. But generally speaking, if they're not, raised by people,
How's the view, Mai? Sit. 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 Maggie, sit.
This is what he was talking about, for sure. But no, was it the girl that was there before that was telling me about the kite surfing?
I don't think we'd get parking in there though, honey.
Yep. I think it might have been the girl in there when I went down at first. She was telling me that there was just a while down the road there was one where there was always people kite surfing.
Oh, well, that would be the corner. spot. And yes, I said we were going to stay at that beach, but oh my gosh, the Wildlife place, they needed our parking spot. That place was so busy, there was lineups down the street. But anyways, so we have moved. So they say 5 minutes down the road. For my driving, it was probably more like 10. This is a beautiful view from the parking lot. And now we're going to go behind us over the sand dune and check out the beach. And then we need to find a place to either do laundry and charge our batteries or something. I don't know. But apparently we couldn't stay there because we have no juice at all. Our fridges are dying. Yeah. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go to the beach. Come on, Megs. What did you think of that, Megs? Good stuff? Well, guys, I failed. The plan was to get up this morning and stay at that beautiful spot on the beach where the wildlife preserve was that we went and toured. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That albino skunk was so cute. And that little owl, the first owl that I show you, he's like a handspan tall and he is so adorable. But anyways, we didn't have any power, so we kept on moving. And we went to the other beach. What else did we do today? I feel like we've done so much today. And yet we've ended up at another Walmart. This is in Dartmouth, something like that. Nova Scotia. It's a beautiful breeze outside tonight. And we ended up that we went to McDonald's for dinner. I had a large fry and a milkshake, which I don't even enjoy. But it did get me my Jackery fully charged. So that was the plan. So we endured through McDonald's dinner, but we got 100% charged on the big Jackery so that now my fridge is running tonight because it was dead. Maggie, please, shh. Maggie, be good. Shh. Maggie. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say goodnight. I know it's still daylight, but I'm exhausted. So, sweet dreams. Maggie, you wanna say goodnight? Oh, say goodnight, baby. Say goodnight. I guess that's it. Bye, guys.